And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your upper bracket finals here at the MDL Changsha Major. Lyrical, Chef Josh, the wonderful BSJ as well. All of us are wonderful people, really. How you folks doing?
Doing real well. Just finished up with that last series. That was pretty exciting. LGD ended up pulling 2-0 pretty much out of nowhere. I did not expect that game to go the way it did. Kunkka seeming to do real well in this tournament. Feeling good. Hoping to see, some more fun, maybe less cleaves, but exciting Dota coming up.
I've always been a big fan of cleavage, and it does not, it's not a difference here with Kunkka.
I
will say that apparently it's pretty good that you can have a 6-slotted carry that gets one-shotted.
Yeah.
I've been told that is a valid strategy for winning the game of Dota 2, and it seems to be working out so far.
With the amount of illusions and creeps seeming to run all over the place, that crit is seeming much more consistent.
You can do it off creeps, illusions.
Yeah.
There's all types of sources of these Kunkka cleaves, and as Lyrical pointed out to me off camera, if you just lost a lane of racks where the creeps are always in your base, that's just more targets to cleave off of.
Yeah, why not?
Like every game of Kunkka has been absolutely insane, and I thought it was kind of poetic that it got newbie had that done to them after we saw them do it in the best of one at the start of the lower brackets. So. Not saying they had it coming or anything like that, but
they had it coming.
Yeah, but they had it. But they had it coming.
Totally. Well, it's going to be that was definitely to me one of the more hyped series. There's been a couple of really good games so far, and this series to me is feeling like it could maybe go the distance as well. Vici versus Vici, brother versus brother, the Civil War, kind of, but not really because it's China versus North America. What do you think?
I mean, I think it'll be exciting. Of course, I'm going to try to avoid bias. Obviously, I'm from China, so I'm a big VG Gaming fan here. So, I'd love to see the hometown, bring it back to China, of course. And so, but VGJ being the only NA team left in this, one of three, it's, of course, you want to see that sort of go through. You'd like to see the region versus region, but again, they all have their own stories to tell. So, I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. VGJ has been showing up in every match thus far. Of course, they got this far. They just won this minor, and of course they didn't have to prove themselves all too much. We were talking about this on the last panel about how they didn't have to, they didn't have to play secret. They didn't have to play. I don't remember what the other team was that they just dodged out on.
They did play secret. And they played OG. You're talking about VGJ, right?
Yeah, in the minor. They
dodged
in the minor.
Yeah, I'm saying in this tournament.
No. So I'm saying they didn't have. They proved themselves for a secret here, which was good. But the minor, wasn't really a tell whether they were going to be able to perform. And so, coming out in this major and making it as far as they have to have them see it go to the grand finals and potentially prove themselves, come out with a W, that would be exciting to watch.
Yeah, if they win either of these two series, like this one or the lower bracket finals, I think Kyle mentioned that against
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, if they win it all, which is quite possible, that's one thing. But against as a team that's at that caliber so far, where they're on the verge of contesting these top-tier teams, even just taking taking a best-of-3 off of these top-tier teams, that is enough to solidify yourself as a powerhouse. And I'm looking forward to some SVG drafts. I think that VGJ.Storm has their own style, and I know, I did work with Clairvoyance as their coach for about a month and a half myself, and he emphasizes a lot. He had a lot of discussions with Stan about the drafts, and I'm assuming it's carrying over to SVG. There's no reason why his coaching style would change. And I know that they come into these games with distinct laid out plans, and I'm looking forward to see how they interpret their best way of beating these teams like Vici Gaming, because I think that they have the skill level that NA presents, but I think they're the first team that's really put it together in terms of cohesion in a team unit.
Well, and the thing that I would mention too is we've been talking all this about Vici Gaming Storm. I feel like Vici is has felt to me like the strongest team at this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you talk about how good VGJ.Storm is. I think the only reason that people are talking about him so much right now is because it was a surprise.
Yeah.
And Vici people were expecting to be good. Even for me, in spite of expecting them to be as good, I wasn't expecting them to be this good. These guys are playing out of their freaking minds.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be clear that I'm only talking about VGJ.Storm because Vici Gaming is the favorite. I think they're the better team overall. They're proved tried and true. A lot of veterans that there's no reason to doubt them, and I'm only talking about VGJ because I would like to see them win simply for the purpose of one, NA.
Oh, you lost
Best,
now. You said you'd like to
the
see him
bias
win.
cast-
You're gone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, biased
BSJ.
casters, re-pour me. But secondly, we always like to see teams that – the reason why is if VGJ wins, it's going to be something we haven't really seen before. But if it's Vici Gaming, these type of teams who are established, we've seen it, we know how they win, and it's just not as exciting, at least for someone like me.
All right, fair enough.
And
Well,
it's not because of region.
not because of region. I'm excited to see if we have any more IOs coming out right now. I feel like that's going to be taken out of the pool. As we do have our draft coming up in front of us, and well, there it is, gone in a second, as well as the Tusk.
Immediately contested.
So Gyro Doom still sticking around. Seen a lot of Night Stalker bans. The Death Prophet is going to be taken away as well. As far as like the way that you feel like you need to take this game for either team, is there anything that stands out, or just stock and standard?
I just want to thank God that they banned the Tusk, because MSS has been an all-star on that hero. Like that, his saves and like counterplays, I don't know, best Tusk that I've seen in a while. And I just think that it's more important in this meta, even though there's heroes that are absolutely broken. We've seen stuff like the Kunkka, the Wisp, the Doom, that you have to make sure you prioritize heroes that these players just specialize in as well. And like MSS Tusk changes the way you play. Like it changes the entire dynamic of the game.
Yeah. And I'm sure this draft is going to be interesting. Vici Gaming being one of the teams, you see, I was talking about this before, there's a lot of these dual support openers. They've been picking out, you know, this whatever it might be, Jakiro with a clock or a Naga or whatever, but Vici's been sort of mixing it up and dropping in these big picks, these off laners or these mid laners right in this first opener here. So I'm excited to see what it is they pull out, whether it's a DP or a Luna. I mean, the IO's gone here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Gyro.
A Luna, Gyro, that's it. They could pull out, I mean, of course, this Naga, but there's a whole lot of options there.
Bane.
The Doom is the other one. Yeah, it feels like one of those picks. The one downside is like putting out there too quickly what it is that you want. You know, showing your hand too early. But I think Doom is a really safe pick for Vici.
I don't know if I like Doom absolutely first. I think you want to see one hero for Doom. So it's
Okay.
either going to be, I think it could be a hero that's just good against
Just
Doom.
like a Naga.
There's the Bane.
Bane's a
That's
solid
Bane.
opener.
Yeah, it's just too good for laning stage, and I can't imagine VGJ picks anything but Doom here because they love that type of hero for snaking. But at the same time, I think they might try to surprise us, catch us off guard. So there's a chance that they do something we're not expecting them to do at all, because they got Tusk, DP, and Coddle banned, 3 heroes that they love to play on the side of VGJ. And I have to assume they're, like I said, prepared for any of these situations to happen.
Again, if you have clairvoyance preparing all these drafts,
No,
I'm sure
he's very thorough. Trust me, there would be long discussions before even just qualifier matches. And I
There's
like
the
the Night
NS,
Stalker
yeah.
with no Lycan in the pool. Makes that pick go up even more in value. Can be a 3 or a 4. They love it on here. They love those type of heroes for snaking because he just wants to run at them the entire time. His job on this team is to say, go through me to get to my other 2 cores while they're farming. He's like their
I'm
bodyguard.
going to give their information. I'm going to be that Zizbra, standing at the top of the hill, waiting, tank the gank. It's good. And there's a Gyro. That's just a solid pick. This hero has been dominating lanes. Wow,
Clock.
snap pick.
Nope.
You know,
I guess Vici knew this was coming. The Tide.
I mean, I think if you leave it out there, you've got to know about it. But the other thing with Bane into Gyro into Bane rather is one enfeeble, just destroys this fool. Then you've also got Fiend Script for the BKB Pierce and Disable. I guess that the plus side is that you've got Night Stalker who's going to give you a vision advantage. But I feel like, I mean, Bane in a lot of ways counters out a lot of what Gyrocopter's trying to do.
Yeah.
I like Tide because against these 2 heroes, he kind of just walks. Like against Night Stalker, you're scared of the parts of the map you can't see, which is very commonly going to be a lot of it. And with Tide, you can just gander up. And I hope they ban something like the Viper, something like
Something
that,
break through him.
that disables Tide, like Disruptor type hero, that disables Tide to just walk into fog and
Like
without
a Doom?
With reckless
Doom.
abandon.
And I'm surprised they banned Clock. Maybe they just. That's confusing. I actually don't know.
I mean, VGJ definitely has the first pick immediately after this banning stage, so.
I just
Doom
feel like the
could
only
still
reason
come
you
up.
pick Tide here is because he can walk into the fog and like not be scared of that happening.
I think
And-
also like laning stage wise, or like as the lane stage starts to adjust, you can stick him in a lane and it's really hard for anybody to get there and like secure a tower.
So also
That's true. He's like a meat shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look further down the line, most of these games, not most of them, there have been a couple low 25 minutes or so, but a lot of these games are going into these 40, 50, 60 minutes where you reach that third Roche timer. And most of these games are some X factor, be it, we were talking about Kunkka earlier. Kunkka is, that X factor in a lot of games, but this guy picks up a refresher.
Yeah.
And you have some double Ravage, triple Ravage if he has one in his inventory already, and that's going to win any fight in the late game. I don't think I've seen a single triple Ravage Tide lose a game.
Okay, I agree.
10 seconds remaining.
And I think the way that they have to deal with this is what I already
5
said.
seconds.
They have to pick a hero that doesn't let Tide just ravage 3 times.
Okay.
They banned out.
Like, I know that's like...
this
Yeah.
Doom is not under contention at all.
This is going to be a Doom or Disruptor from SVG,
Guaranteed.
100%.
Yeah?
Third pick, don't even question me. I've been
I'm
right this
questioning
entire
you.
tournament, haven't said a single misleading
I
comment.
so hope that you're wrong.
No,
I
he
can't
is
even
correct
tell you.
on this. When me and Brian both had flawless predictions.
Yeah,
for the
haven't messed
entirety
up a single thing
of
this
our
entire
cast.
tournament.
Yeah.
If you watch back the broadcast,
Yeah.
you don't even have to watch the games. Just watch the drafting stage, listen to our analysis. You'll know what happens anyway.
Every time you hear him say "clip it," that's when you know. Yeah, see, look at this.
How can you not trust
Wait,
this
is it.
face?
I
Yeah.
don't know how to say, something. Quality analysis, right there.
Yeah.
You
What
goddamn
about you?
clowns.
How have your predictions been going thus far?
I see. I don't make predictions. I just yell when flashing things happen on the screen, and then it's all good.
So you're saying you've been right?
I've been
From
right. I've
start to
been
finish.
100% right.
Never
If
wrong.
you
about
just
when
tell
to yell.
people what's currently happening,
Yeah.
how can you possibly go wrong?
I
It's
bet
the
you
ultimate.
VGJ.Storm is going to pick a hero within the next 20 seconds.
Mm.
Unless,
actually-
of course,
that actually
unless, of
that is
course,
not a safe assumption.
they
Yeah.
use their minute and 52 seconds
Okay,
of reserve
if it's
time.
not Doom or Disruptor, if I by small chance am wrong, it's going to be a hero that disables Tide from walking into the
You're
fight.
already ready to backpedal.
I'm
a little
already
bit.
ready to
He knows.
protect
All right,
myself
no,
here.
I'm
Secure.
backing this. I'm backing this.
I think
decision.
Disruptor's super good against
Doom.
Bane, too. Disruptor's super good at canceling the Fiend's Grip from long range, so just give me the
It is.
Disruptor. Thank
There-
you.
Give me
High
this.
five, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
God.
1
Oh,
for
yeah.
10 today. 1 for
Best
10.
10 for 10. This is
Oh,
zero.
Oh, yeah,
there.
10 for 10. That's what I
That's a
mean.
zero.
Thank God I'm the 1%.
Jesus.
Wait a second. All right,
What
so
a guy.
what do you think is coming out on the side of Vici Gaming? I mean, I don't really know. They have a lot of options here. They could pick another support. They could save that for 4th. It doesn't really matter. They could take some strong core here.
Well, I'll
I don't know what
mention
they're
one
really
thing
trying
that
to
I
go.
saw Vici, I think it was Vici do before actually, was even when things go wrong, there was a game where I think Lanham played Tidehunter, if I'm not mistaken. And he played it like running around just gushing people, which was awesome.
Oh, that was hilarious,
Yeah.
actually. That 4 position. He built a stout shield because it doesn't
Yeah.
stack with Kraken, but he didn't level Kraken until level 11.
Exactly. He was just getting in people's faces.
Yeah, that was nuts.
And I don't know if that's necessarily something that was like premeditated or if it was just something that was like, all right, Tidehunter no longer works in the position that we want him to. Let's switch it up now. But having that in the back pocket at the very least,
What
we'll
is
keep
this?
it in the back
Doom,
of mind.
there
They
it
take
is.
the Doom themselves, so it is going
There
to
it
be
is.
probably a 4 Doom still, I would assume. Or do you want to give Doom the
No, I think you
farm?
make it a 4 Tide.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that because of the Disruptor pick, you're basically saying if you counter our Tide from being able to walk up as a core, like we're just going to put him at support.
So can I just say that I just called it a support Tidehunter? Is that all right? I'm done with this.
I mean, it's not even confirmed because I'm only 1 for 10 so far. So
That's fair
the
enough.
fact that I'm telling you, you should probably feel worse that you're agreeing with
That man.
me.
Okay.
Immediately gone.
Yeah,
Well, VGJ
Oh, so-
Storm,
we're back.
what do you think right here now?
They got options.
They do.
I'm
That's
looking.
true.
I'm looking on the side of Vici Gaming. I feel like I have more of a attempt with that. They've been recently putting this Bane Tide up with. They've been running it with DP almost every game that they had that combo, but obviously that's banned out now. So they've been running it with this Veno or this
How
even
about
an
a Razor?
Ember or a Razor. That last pick Razor is what they've been doing a lot, but they've got a decent amount of.
I
things,
think
but it seems like they
VGJ.Storm
want
picks
this.
Razor here.
They want this stand in your face core that you just can go in with this Tide, deal damage.
You pick a Razor, you last pick Snake King's hero, or Rezos, and even put it like we've seen Snake King play these type of Razor heroes as well because that satisfies the run at you criteria. Super good against Tidehunter and Doom in lane, so it doesn't matter which one is the core. So they have catch. That's usually Razor's issue. They just need to not let Vici Gaming run at them. And I think a hero that stops that from happening is what they need. They either need that or a split pusher. And I don't think they want to pick the split pusher until last because split pushers usually rely on some semblance of an ability for survivability, and they can just counterpick whatever they pick if they do it now. So they'll give Resolution probably the last pick and just give Snake King either. I guess Abaddon's already banned. He's going to give him one of these like strong laners. Like that's all they're going to focus on him. They could just make this a Night Stalker 3 right now and establish like an ET or something like that.
They have 9 seconds left of reserve time.
They're debating. I'm sure they have some ideas. They're just trying to get some confident pick. There's an Enigma.
That's the other way to do it, though. Like, it's the other thing. So they have 2 separate ways to make sure a Ravage doesn't come out. Also, it's like late game super insurance.
That's the first. Is that the first Enigma we've seen?
No, there was one in one of the BO1s at the beginning of this tournament, I believe.
Wow. Are you talking about in the group stage?
Yeah.
So this is the first one of the playoffs
Could
for
be
sure.
incorrect. It might be. I might have been wrong.
You could
Wouldn't
check
be
the
a
Doesn't
first.
matter. It doesn't matter. I can look later. But anyway, this Enigma is just going to sit in that off lane for quite some time. I'm assuming you think they're just going to put the Tide safe lane versus him and just let them just duke it out for a while.
I
How do you
think
they're gonna
I
win it?
think they're going to do a dual aggro with Tide Doom, with one of them being the core. Not sure who they're going to do yet, and they're going to pick. I always wonder what to pick against Enigma. I feel like if they pick, they're going to need a BKB hero, but then they have an Enigma. I think you want something like
They're going to want some cancel for it, something that can get rid of this black
even like a
hole
Life
from
Stealer is
far
nice
away.
here, despite it like they don't really have the damage to kill Life Stealer, and it's really good against the first 3 heroes. And
Something to deal with Glimpse is
Yeah.
always good.
I think something like that could just be good. Like, if you just give a carry that's not going to die to Night Stalker running at him at 4 minutes, I think that's the game plan, because otherwise your bottom lane is going to be a liability, something that you have to constantly deal with. And it also shuts down the Helmdom build.
There's
So
an
they go-
Ember.
Okay.
That's interesting. I mean, they could run this safe lane Ember potentially. I don't know if that's... It might deal with the Enigma.
It's actually possible that he can't pop the Flame Guard reliably. He's always going to level Eidolons, and it's super good against the Gyro. We mentioned that earlier. Gyro, a hero that his survivability is BKBing and running into this committing fight, and Ember can poke at him from long range, and you can Searing Chains him and force him to potentially defensively BKB. And even though it's against Disruptor Night Stalker, he'll probably build something like a Yules or even just go like a second item BKB and just say and that hero doesn't die anymore.
How quickly do the Eidolons die to the Flame Guard?
They have 50% magic resistance, so
It
it's not
takes
that
quite
fast.
some time.
I
They do
feel
not
like
feed
he
at
could
all.
take like a lot. I mean, does he have a
Ember-
lot of starting Ember? I'm trying to remember.
No,
Starting what?
Armor.
Oh, armor.
No,
They buffed
Ember-
it. It's 3.
Ember
Okay.
really, I feel like he would just get right-clicked by these Eidolons in this Enigma as well, though, if he would go safe lane. It looks like VGJ was definitely thinking that this is a mid-Ember. They banned out this Morphling. They're thinking Vici still needs this.
Morphling into Night Stalker, Disruptor, Enigma.
It's just a scary carry, man. He can turn into the Gyro. He can turn into him.
That
hit
is true.
flak,
You're right.
and
You're
turn
right. Against the
back.
Gyro. God, that's why
Yeah.
you're here, man.
It's for free. Yeah, exactly. the insight, you know,
Yeah.
as the resident
I thought it
pro
was
here,
for the
you know?
pretty face, but I think that's what you're talking about.
I don't want to know pretty face.
I have no idea what this is.
And they banned the Razor. I think the Razor would have been a very
Yeah.
good pick for VGJ. Like, it's so good in every lane against what VG Gaming has already picked. And VGJ does not need any more team fight. So they just need a hero that wins the lane.
I feel like they need catch. They need some BKB hero. They need some black hole cancel. I don't know. I feel like more they need utility.
Something like Lone Druid might be good for VG. Something that just takes buildings.
Radiant team pick.
It's a jug.
Well, okay,
I was
that's
hesitant
a
to say
combination of Lifestealer and
Yeah.
Lone Druid. It's like a BKB hero that takes buildings.
I was thinking about this, but I haven't seen Jug picked very often at all. He
I think
seems
this is
weak
his first
in
time.
a lot of games.
I think it's his
yeah.
first time in the playoffs.
I
Might
mean,
even be the whole freaking tournament, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, he's been nowhere to be seen. And I was wondering about, like, a hero, because before you would have the setup with, like, Nightmare into a spin.
Dusa.
Ooh,
That
I love
doesn't-
that pick.
I don't know if the Nightmare into spin works anymore, if Eidolons can just take it off. So we'll have to see if that's what they want to go for, or if it's just more for the healing ward. But
They
is the
picked it for
Dusa
the
enough to
cosmetics.
carry?
They
Yeah, I
picked
was
it for
gonna
the
say, it
cosmetics.
really
That
is
is
for
a
the cosmetics.
sick-looking juggernaut. They do have Enfeeble
Yeah.
for the Dusa.
You can only
But,
enfeeble one.
yeah, I mean, technically you can Enfeeble too, but it's not really reliable.
Okay.
I will say that I think this is exactly the type of style we'd expect from VGJ. So this is their comfort zone 100%. But I think I like Vici Gaming's lineup better. I think that the only difficulty they'll have is going high ground against the Enigma, Medusa, even the Gyrocopter. But if Gyro has no room to farm, then I don't think Medusa is enough to win this game, based on the Enfeeble, the Doom, and Juggernaut's surprisingly a hero that can take Aegis and kind of just go high ground by virtue of ignoring the Medusa. Like, you just, even though she has a Scotty, you just hit the building without...
spin up.
Yeah, you just spin, hit the building, and then back off. But I will say, it's a very good Medusa game. But
I feel like a lot of this game is going to fall onto the shoulder of this Ember, whether he can actually get a game or not. He's going to go mid versus this Dusa? What do you think it's going to be?
yeah, it should be mid. They have nobody else that goes mid.
I feel like that matchup goes in favor of Dusa, because if this Ember catches any snakes, he's just going to run low on mana. He's going to have issues with that really early on. It does a ton of damage. It'll eat right through his Flame Guard.
Well,
But you can't slight dodge it, can't you?
Slight dodge what?
The snake?
You can definitely slight dodge the snake. Anything that's like a projectile that relies on impacting you, you can dodge with slight.
Right.
It's a little awkward, I think.
Lanham.
He's taking a little bit of a break now as we get into this game number 1 of
Cracking his
Vici
knuckles.
versus Paparazzi, and I don't know how you can not believe in this Juggernaut set. That's what's going to carry this game.
That's
this thing
true.
is glorious.
You have a point. Did you see the Tide set? Look at him.
All right,
Go zoom in on him. Look at that weapon.
look at his mouth. He's
Yeah.
just.
Oh, he's bugging out. Yeah.
I know.
What was that like? What was he doing? Okay.
Oh, that was
I just
good.
wanted to make sure. I didn't really understand
Yeah.
what you're going for there, but I must say, this is just proof that if VG wins this series, it's pay to win because.
Oh, thank you for that. Oh, sorry, I messed that up. Do I need to go back?
Wait, what did we mess
Sorry,
up?
Rob. That's not who we wanted to look at.
That's a face only a mother could
That's
love.
the one. That's beautiful.
Not gonna
This is art. This is art.
imagine that at the event.
Oh, it was wonderful.
My gosh.
We have like a little. It's like a little peephole into the game. Hey
Yeah.
guys, how's it going?
Into the Dota universe. This is where the universes collide, and out comes the Flash.
What else do we have? Are there any
Wait,
other cool
Fanatics
faces?
playing? What are you?
Wait, what
Oh,
universe are we talking about?
Universes? Oh,
Yeah, I
God,
just-
oh.
Yeah.
Deuce is a spooky one too. Look at her.
She is a little spooky. But
She's
the cosmetic game
monitoring
really,
the crowd there.
really falling short here. I feel like Vici Gaming just has the cosmetics on point, and as I always say, cosmetics win games.
This is
Absolutely.
not centered on the hero correctly. Oh, Juggernaut, I'm coming for you. Hello.
All right, so I mean, we haven't really quite we talked about it a little bit, but what do we think after seeing this draft? We've got a bit of time to talk about it. Who are you in favor of? Either of you. Let's start with Gabe over here. How's it going?
Yeah. I'm shook on it because on the one hand, like, I feel like Enigma has the potential to also do a lot this game, but I'm worried that he's gonna like go for this Hand of Midas type of item and then just try and scale super into the late game. And they've got so many different heroes that do that. And Night Stalker can sometimes be the piece that holds the game together in some ways. But like when the team fights start breaking out and stuff, it could be a little bit spooky. So I'm tentatively holding towards Vici Gaming. The other thing that could just happen this, though, is like because I think Vici is the better team, they might just completely dominate them in the laning stage. It's a possibility.
I will say this with a heavy heart that I believe you're wrong about Snaking's build.
Really?
And that's because we actually did an interview with Snaking when they qualified for this tournament, and it was basically him saying, I realize I have Yawar and Resolution on my team.
Okay.
I'm never going to be the farm priority of this team. I will never be the win condition, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I am 99% sure, so this will not happen, that he will build a Helm Dom because his job will be to create as much space as possible for his team. And I think that if they don't have lane pressure, so what's going to happen, here's how the game's going to look for VGJ. They're going to have Medusa farming the 2 ancient camps in the mid lane, and anytime Vici looks to go push, Medusa's going to show up and be like what you said the Tidehunter would be, where he's like a barrier for the push. And so that's you got the dangle going,
Yeah.
which is nice and all.
God.
But in this case, in terms of the split pushing version, the dangle is the defense, the tangle is the push, and you need somebody pushing elsewhere to make it so that you defending is actually worth your time. And so they will almost certainly like have some hero pushing and nobody else on his team does it. He doesn't have like a safe lane core or a mid core that's going to do that for him, or even like a Shadow Shaman support. He needs to put it like I'm pretty sure he's going to go like Soul Ring, maybe Boots, and then into Helm of the Dominator.
Yeah, exactly. And then he'll probably pick up a blink or something after that.
I'll
start
give you
moving
a
around.
dangle, BSJ.
Is that the
Jeez.
surge?
I mean,
didn't think we were
can
going
we at
there
least
this
save
early.
it till after the broadcast?
I thought we were gonna give it a solid, 15 minutes into the game, get comfortable, drop a dangle.
Yeah, at
tangle,
least
but
take
it's-
me out
it's
to
there
dinner
already.
first.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, get the D ward. They're doing it.
Wow, and that is 100
Oh,
gold in the
Lanham.
pocket of
Lanham,
Lanham.
that greedy
Rich
mother.
boy Lanham.
Well, they're
But
going to
it's not
secure
a bounty
themselves 2 runes there. Meanwhile, Vici down bottom able to secure themselves another 2 runes. And Lanham is just going to be the one that's standing there, ready to punch people. So Orb of Venom, Stout Shield, Tidehunter.
I like that.
Yep, this
do
is
it.
exactly what we saw. No Kraken Shield till level 11. Take notes for your pubs, boys.
Is this
If I see this one time, I swear.
I mean, if they win with it, though.
No, I mean, what I'm saying is they know exactly how it's supposed to be played, and they use it really well. It's not something that I think would work without a coordinated team. The level 1 Gush, run at him.
Yeah.
It's like Naga 2.0.
VG Gaming being a team that's very long established, super comfortable with each other. I'm sure they're going to play each other flawlessly here. I mean, these Eidolons are dealing a whole lot of damage to Paparazzi, though, right now.
Yeah,
A
this
lot
could
of
be
harass
tough.
his way.
You are living the dream, hitting for 19 after that Bane and Feeble.
Yeah, this is it's a tough one for sure, and he is not going to have a great time. But of course, that's being traded off by the pressure they're exerting top lane, and in these dual lane situations, Disruptor not the strongest of heroes.
No.
This is why you practice last hitting as techies in a private lobby. These exact scenarios.
As soon as it's gone, it's right back up. And the deny in his face. Mid lane, we can talk about that a bit as well. We talked about the Ember and Medusa pairing off against each other.
He does have that early point in Slight. He has it level 2, so I guess he's just dodging the snake, or trying to at least.
It doesn't feel like the easiest thing in the world to get done, and waiting to see if they can get the deny there. Ooh,
Wow.
fancy.
Reza with the salve up. He'll be perfectly fine in this lane for now.
Look up time.
What is going on up top? What is that?
They're dropping their items and
They're
pretending to deny them to each other.
Dancing around. This is MDL, right? This is the Changsha, like this is a
I
real
think
game?
so.
I think there's a little
Oh
bit of
my
money
god,
on
are
this
you
tournament.
kidding me?
Oh.
Okay, no, he's not going to be able to do anything to him.
I thought he blocked him in there. I thought this was going to be a
Are
man
they
fight.
actually doing anything right now? What?
They're just. Is this real Dota? I think they're just actually.
Oh, they're
toying with
contesting
each
for the
other.
pull, maybe? MSS wants to pull the creep wave
Okay,
past?
so Lanham was reading that. Now he pinged out that D ward right there. He knows exactly where it is.
So that's going to block the camp,
Literally
I
put
guess.
the enemy has vision on top of that D ward. That's impressive.
Yeah, and there's the sentry being brought out, so they'll take care of that one as well so he can get his pulls working. And every pull that Tidehunter doesn't get, a lot of value lost.
Yeah, that's true. How is this? What's Enigma doing in lane? Enigma is, 10-4. This Jug is actually getting a whole lot out of the lane. He is 17-0 on last hits right now. I did not expect him to be able to farm so efficiently.
This Doom has 9 denies. Bottom lane.
Oh my lord.
It's going to be a serious problem if they don't address him soonish. I think when they, at 4-minute nighttime, their highest priority has to be slowing down this Doom's progression. Like, at least his impact on shutting down Gyro, because Gyro is 6-1 at the current moment, and that's not going to get better, is the point. Is if they don't do something to change this, it isn't going to be fixed.
Well, they switched it up. Bane went top as Lanham is down here. Now
He is
potentially
in a lot
just
of
going to
trouble.
feed away
He's
a
gonna
kill
take
to
another Q from
Yuar.
Gyro. He's dead, I believe.
A lot of damage
Oh
coming
no,
through.
slow.
He has the slow creep on the side of Doom.
And they get the
That's
finish.
a dead Gyro, I think.
You are in trouble. Right-clicked down, and well, he
And
does
that's my
have
analysis.
some extra movement speed. Still trying to hide. With another
juke
clap
him
in a
back.
second and another one of the Infernal Blades.
Oh,
he
he
misses
confirmed
onto a
with a
creep,
creep.
and 11 is maybe going to go down himself now. Although with Tidehunter coming
No
back in,
more
they're going to
mana on
back out.
VG.
Ember dies mid. What?
He does have a mango. He could just mango up and Q this Doom.
Oh my god. How did
Reza
they get that
lived
kill?
with
Might be
50
enough
health. He
damage.
dove, probably had like a fairy fire, caught him off guard, and turned the kill. Resolution, time and time again, just like styling on the
All right,
enemy mid lane.
hold on. Can we just recap for a second? The Medusa just solo killed the Ember.
Yeah, he tried to dive her.
That's-
That's the only way Medusa's
Yeah.
ever killing anybody is when they try to over-aggress on you, and they're actually getting a kill bottom. The flag is enough to bring down the Doom, though. Okay.
Oh.
This is all planned by Lanham. He wants that extra levels for these creeps.
And suddenly Gyrocopter has a game. I'm not exactly sure what I guess that they thought that because this block was this pull was blocked over and over again that Tidehunter just wasn't going to be able to get anything and they needed him to get farm. But yeah, this is now Gyrocopter back into the game and Paparazzi going for the spin forward. But like we said, you can take it off with the Eidolons and they weren't able to get the setup.
Yeah, he is going home in the Dominator on Snaking. That's just pretty much the play style of the team. Some teams, their Enigma would for sure go for the Midas, but the dynamic of the farm distribution on this team, it's just the way that they play.
When you're playing this Enigma, you just want to be this beefy guy that can stand in a lane again. He just wants to sit here for as long as he can. If your Eidolons get that 7 HP regen, you have a bonus creep. You can just push and push and push. And Vici Gaming isn't going to have all too much to come up here and deal with you.
Fenrir takes away the bounty rune there from the Night Stalker as well. Never feels good to lose that one as a Night Stalker. But MSS punished and pushed away.
Yuar down bottom lane is actually not in the lane at the moment, so you have SVG over here pulling for him to help him get some of the CS back in his favor. But, you have 11 over here, last hitting away, still with 13 denies, 19 last hits, 20 now. He's feeling pretty good about himself.
Snaking top of the charts on CS. This is exactly what you want from an Enigma. And the pressure that's going to be created top is going to be rather significant. Bottom lane.
They got him.
And here's Lanham doing his best
Yuar
forward
might go
position.
down.
Yuar's in trouble too. I think he's going to fall here. Yep.
Wow.
Now we have SVG. Potentially going to catch an Infernal Blade. He
Doom's
does not.
almost 6.
11's too slow.
So the carries game's over. Once the Doom gets 6, at least he won't be able to return to bottom. Maybe we'll see Yuar pull off what we saw from, what team was it that ran a level 5 gyro at the mid lane? I think that was Ame.
Yeah, it was Ame. That was when we were
level
questioning
5.
him. We thought, this probably isn't what you want to be doing with your carry, especially if he's this far behind. But it paid off.
I think Yuar is going to have to be very careful of letting this get even worse because Tide's walking back bottom. 11's almost level 6. We'll get it from the range creep death here.
He has it. I think they could very easily dive this tower. I mean, there's a disruptor back to
They have to be
answer.
careful
He's
of the
got
Night Stalker
kinetic field.
TP is the only thing. He does
Yeah.
have one.
They do have glimpse
Speaking
and
of
kinetic
which,
field up.
Really good
going for
TP
it
by
now.
Night Stalker. He knows that this is the place that if they're going to make a play on the side of Vici, it's here.
There's a rocket down at 11. I believe SVG is looking for this glimpse. I think it's going to be too far away. I don't think they're going to keep going with this.
He's got 1,000 health, like even like a 1,400 max health, but he still has 1,000 health.
So the
Ember is
rotation-
rotating bottom, it looks. He's trying to make a play. They're going to get vision of him first on the side of VGJ.Storm, it looks like.
Yeah, this ward is really good by Lanham. It shows that there's support here, and they know exactly who is here. And if Gyro ever walks out of position, they can catch him with the Tide Gush. And they have to be very very careful, excuse me, of this scary situation.
You got there. We got there in the end now, so
first try.
it happens. Well, like we talked about, sort of a little bit of a lull again in the action after the initial flurry that we had, and SVG is going to hold the lane, as you guys said. Can't go there. 11 is going to go hunting possibly in the jungle.
Hey, look, a level 5 ganking Gyrocopter.
Smoke up. See if they can chase him. They
Not
saw the
the-
snake heading back that direction, and so they're going to maybe go for wraparound, but
Yeah,
he is
I guess
not
they can.
there. It's bottom where they're going to head now.
Okay, I like this move, but SVG's
Lanham at
probably going to
11.
die before they get there.
There it
He's
is, yeah.
stuck in the kinetic field, and there still is a chance as they're going to walk forward towards it, but realize they can't do anything here. It's about to
They're-
turn daytime anyways.
There is no more Scorched Earth on this Doom, but they are not going to pursue
He's
this.
going to get a Satyr creep in 20 seconds. That's going to be even worse.
Wow, that is true. That is just about the best creep you could ask for on the Doom hero. So much regen. You get that nuke. You feel real good about yourself. You get that. You can just sit in this lane, take this harass, pop.
Can't
Scorched Earth
possibly
if they
lose
ever go on
trades.
you. Yeah, exactly.
Never lose trades. They have to full on commit to you, and then suddenly you're just a 1,400 HP hero, and they have to kill you, or
He
they
has it
can't
up
do
right
anything.
now. 10.4 health regen with nothing but treads and a mango in his inventory right now.
So the drums build that he's going for, they're going to try and keep the pressure on. Again, not level 6 yet for UR, although with these creep waves he might be able to get it. And every time he walks forward, he's got to be careful. Another rotation could find the kill. Lanham walking forward for this. 2 points in Gush. They're not going to do anything, though. 11 chasing now. They're looking for SVG. Kinetic field comes out, and Bates' an ability is top lane Paparazzi going to just Omni slash MSS. He's going to get caught there with the black hole and the rotation in from Yawar. This would be a huge win for them, and it looks like, in fact, they do get that kill.
It's a very good black hole. No hesitation whatsoever from snaking. He knew that's a valuable kill. He doesn't care. They're just probably going to walk down this lane. They've got Eidolons up. He's got a headdress, which, a little bit of regen. Not quite 7.
I think that's a
but
massive
feels good.
misplay, not only because he died, but because Gyro had no lane to go to.
Yeah.
And now that he used Omni Slash and died, it gives Gyro the
Speaking
opportunity
of
to
which,
rotate.
Fenrir chasing down as well. They're just bringing heroes
as
into this,
well.
but Yawar is going to be able to find himself another kill. So massively going astray for Vici Gaming. Paparazzi TP's back in. There's no black hole this time, and with Lanham moving forward as well. Snakey looking like he is going to drop.
I like how they bring this many heroes top. They're like, okay, we gave Gyro this opportunity to rotate. Now let's just boot him out of here. He's not strong enough to contest our level 7 Juggernaut at this stage in the game. So why let him have that chance? And he's going Battle Fury on the Jug. He has committed because he purchased the 300 gold recipe first for maybe just to prevent gold loss when he died. Bounty Rune's coming out. They're looking to go on Lanham here.
No Ravage, but they do have Call Down, and Lanham just starting to drop.
Not a
as they get
single
the silence.
Kraken shell.
And are they actually going to keep this going? It looks like the rotation from Fenrir, they realize they can't stick around anymore. Yuara's out of mana. He's going to need to go for a TP. He drops the tree.
No way.
Oh, no, it's not their time. And they're going to catch him.
Happy little accidents. They still happen. And Doom's invis bottom, but they have a sentry that missed the D ward, I guess? Yeah, they missed the D ward bottom. That's actually a pretty big, unfortunate event there.
Well, at least it keeps him alive.
On SVG, but SVG's fully aware of him lurking in the area. He's just going to play by his tower. Survive that.
Well,
This Jug purchased a Battle Fury recipe already. It's just sitting in his backpack.
That's the message they're sending. I'm going to have a battlefield.
don't worry, guys. We're getting there.
Well, the secret is he's not going to buy that until 4th item. It's all a mind game.
Yep. Debating the enemy team into a false sense of security that he will not be active. He's going to go that first item, Shadow Blade.
Oh, you know what else? 11 just walked here by the tower, and then he got a tower shot, so he realizes now that there is a ward in the area behind the tower.
Okay. That's a nice little play.
Yeah.
11 with the reads. Figuring out what VGJ knows about him.
Is this a dating simulator or
This
something?
is.
I like
I was
that.
going for the ASMR.
Oh, lordy.
Josh, please. This is a family-friendly stream. That's not fair.
So
Sorry.
it's 11 and a half minutes. They just smoke now underneath this ward. They have Ravage and Doom. We still haven't seen
We
a
do
Doom
have them
used.
smoked up mid. MSS is coming to their area. He pops the smoke. They do have they have vision.
I
of
think they
this.
saw the smoke originally with this
Yeah.
ward place.
They see the Ember rotating over. They're pinging it out. They're not going to get caught by this.
all the
looks
cores
like-
are missing. Why would the Doom suddenly leave bottom if he wasn't ganking?
Oh, this is a good play, though, afterwards. They go for the counter smoke, and they're going to head up towards the north. Fenrir is there, but also 11 is going to TP in. They're anticipating this attack on Snaking.
Snaking with Black Hole up in 5 seconds here.
Ori is not going to be there with them, and this initiation coming in. 11 looking for the Doom. They do still have it. It's up, and also with the Static Storm down, they're going to be able to turn this
There
back
it
around,
is.
catch it onto both of them. A ton of damage out there right at the start, and the silence there onto the Juggernaut, making sure that he can't get away from them. At least for the
Does
moment.
still have Doom on 11,
The
but
turnarounds.
he is just going to feed to Rezo.
That was a huge problem, and looking forward, the call down is also off to the side. They've caught themselves. Ori, this has been a complete and utter disaster for Vici Gaming as they pull back in Paparazzi. They just lost all 3 of their cores.
That was an absolutely sick call by SVG to counter smoke that. They knew that. I mean, it may have even been Snaking saying, you know, they're probably coming after me. I have hold, just back me up. Either way, that was.
Disruptor ulti on the 2.
I mean, they saw the smoke, and that's wards, people. That ward bottom lane at the bottom rune, excuse me, that decided that fight because that's where Vici Gaming smoked from, and VGJ immediately counterplayed it.
And they called it early enough to have Rezo just walk up there. He didn't even have to use his TP, so he could immediately go back mid. He just got this Mask of Madness up. He's dealing a ton of physical damage. The Jug just had to spin, and he couldn't even go in with it. He had to run away immediately. And he fed anyway, which was sad to see.
I mean, the thing to talk about, though, also is that this Gyrocopter is still hurting. Taking a look at the net worths, he's below all of the other cores for Vici Gaming, but that was a big win for them. Vici Gaming, if you're them now, where do you kind of go from here?
I think you have to start getting some towers. I think you have to drag the Medusa around, but not force fights around the Medusa. Like, you just make her go to one tower, and then if she defends that one, you take a different one. Like, their objective barrier is the Medusa at this point. And I think this first tower, like, the bottom tower is almost always the first one teams try to take. And I feel like this should have gone down a little while ago. I'm surprised it took them that long to rotate for it.
Oh, another one. Doom up here on the top lane as they found themselves a kill on a Snaking. We'll see if Yuar can clean up at all, but... Oh, the Eidolon's body blocks? Okay, they're keeping 11 back there, and he's going to be stuck off to the side in the trees. The Eidolons are going to be able to help with this extra bits of damage.
They got creeps
Yuar.
blocking him in there, but they have nothing.
They glimpsed the Tide as well. Tide can't be at this fight.
Okay, Fenrir starting to drop down a little bit low as well. And a very awkward beginning to this engagement as they've already TP'd it out one, but looks like they're just going to take the camps instead. That was so weird. What the hell's happening?
don't really know. I guess they just had to capitalize. You know, they rotated up there. Might as well get something out
Oh,
of it.
is Paparazzi gonna die?
What?
Oh! Sorry.
BSJ, you got to tell me when these things are happening.
I didn't see that.
I didn't know. Like, I
went
saw him
down?
taking the ancient stack. He got
Quick recap.
rooted after the spin. He didn't spin.
Oh, paparazzi.
I thought this was.
You have
some
to understand,
kid.
this is a play I'm all too familiar with myself. I know exactly when it's going to happen. Yep, you know it's going to happen 5 seconds before it happens, and you're just like, well,
You watch it.
And that reveals that they're taking the stack away. So they do lose a good portion of the stack, but Reza will at least get a kill for it.
I just this tied with the no points Kraken show.
I told you he was
4
gonna do
Gush,
this, man.
4
I told
Angus
you he was
Rush.
gonna
You
do
did
it.
you did say this. It just seems so odd to me. I haven't seen this live in a game. It's just interesting.
Bottom
Yeah,
lane,
there's
no
Juggernaut's in
defensive
trouble.
items at all, and the static storm means Paparazzi, after dying to neutrals, is now going to also die to other heroes.
He's still committing for this Battle Fury, and I feel like he's just not going to get the space to farm. I don't know if he's going to be able to sit back and catch up to this Dusa or this, you know, I mean, he's above the gyro.
why is it that every team I pick to win plays like this? VG's way better than this. What are they doing? This is so confusing. I think I will say VGJ.Storm is playing incredibly well, and Medusa, their win condition, despite the fact that Gyro's had a rough start, is insanely farmed.
Yeah. Well, Lanham, again, just trying to clear these out. Now, you do have Black Hole if you're Enigma, but you not want to dive in for that one. They're going to take the tower instead, make sure Lanham can't get the deny, and head back towards farming some more. But Blink, Helm of the Dominator, and now an Invis are in for Snake King. Something spicy could happen with that,
That's
maybe.
interesting. He does have Black Hole up. He has Blink up, as well as the HOD that he finished quite some time ago. So he's just going to probably walk middle. We're going to dangle a bit with one of these heroes and see if he can get him tangled up.
The smoke up from Vici. They're saying we need to get something done.
Are scanning.
Well, 11, with them moving over here, 11 feels safe, and MSS looks like easy pickings.
Blinks in on
But with the
MSS.
turnaround coming with the Enigma in the area, we'll see if they decide to use the Black Hole for this one, or if they're just going to try and get the kill without it, as the call down coming in, the Malefice as well,
Looks
as
like
the
they
missiles soon to be there, and 11 gone.
Beautiful.
Wait, no, the
Fenrir
turnaround
with the
though.
grip.
Oh, they're able to interrupt it there for the moment as well, as Enigma does drop. And Fenrir are going to be able to walk away. On the back side of all of this, though, is an Omni Slash that took down MSS, but the 2 cores and SVG looks like he's going to end up dying as well, are going to be able to escape with the other 2.
Of course, Vici Gaming will take that any day of the week. They're perfectly happy with that trade that just went down. Enigma did not have an opportunity to use Black Hole. That Ember just came in too quick with too much damage for him to do anything to respond.
But this is all happening on their side of the map, and so they're not getting any objectives when they take these fights. And meanwhile, that entire fight, Medusa gained like 1,500 net worth.
That is
So
true.
I'm not saying it's bad for Vici, but it's not exactly good either.
It's just making space. Both this Ember and this Jug need a whole lot of time. Ember's going these bots after this Veil. He's just going to go into this magic damage type build, split pushing. He needs some time before he can actually deal damage and you know, maneuver around in these fights confidently.
Do I know?
I do
You do
really
know.
like this
You
here,
do
though.
know.
The smoke up, and now SVG Chais, they didn't quite catch there with the chains combo, but they still will get the disruptor nonetheless, and maybe they can try and turn this into forcing the tower.
It's very important they get these towers because it never gets easier against Medusa. She's like a moving wall, and she
11.
just gets stronger as the game goes.
Look at this guy. He wants a little something of Snake King, but Snake King throws out the Malefice. They force him back yet again. A ward dropped on the high ground, and the tower, well, not secured yet, but at least they're going to put the pressure on it.
I like the net creep on the Doom a little bit early, but once the Enigma has a BKB, that will be an ideal way to cancel the Black Hole without having to expend Doom to do so. Net purges the BKB, or goes through the BKB.
Paparazzi close to that Battle Fury now. We were talking about the eventual farm that he's going to be able to get with that item. And while the rest of his team is pushing, he is farming. And now it looks like VG not going to get too aggressive. They take down a good portion of that mid lane tower's damage, but don't finish it off.
So Paparazzi now has this Battle Fury completed, as you were saying. There's bots up on Ember. They're just going to farm away, split away. I think they're just going to dodge this Black Hole for now, right?
Yeah, they have no way of like late game dealing with Medusa. If you have heroes like Coddle, something like that, that drains her mana, and Nyx, Coddle, these type of heroes that can make Medusa like basically not be the same carry that she could otherwise be, but they don't have, like, they have all flat damage between the Ember, the Jug, and the percentage HP from Doom is not nearly as effective against a hero like Medusa, whose effective HP actually comes from her mana shield. So I just feel like if Medusa gets 6-slotted, this game's just over. And so they have to make something happen, and even though they're farming up on their heroes and they built these items because they kind of have to, I don't even know if they win. If it was just Medusa farmed, it's different, but Enigma and Gyro are keeping up with the cores of Vici. Where is this net worth disparity coming in? I guess the difference is between the...
It's the Dusa on top of everything.
No, I'm saying they're only up by 1K. Or 2K.
I would say that some of it has to do with the tide, and also that your gyro is still a little bit behind.
Yeah, that's true. The gyro's hurting quite a bit compared to the other cores.
And the tide is just now going to pick up his Blink Dagger as well. So I actually think that this is a really strong timing that you get from Vici Gaming. And Doom now picking up Vanguard as well. He wants to go back for Crimson Guard. So much value this game with both the Medusa and the gyro in it. But
first item Blink on Tide. I think they kind of have to do that because against the Disruptor, you're never walking in. Even the Night Stalker, the silence gets removed by Kraken Shell, but you just silence the Tide and ignore him.
And there's sometimes you can actually, for like, I think that there's like a moment where you see the Static Storm going down where you can still react with a Blink if you're quick enough. So might need to open with a stun from now on for him. And hey, guess what? He's got a point in Kraken Shell, so it's going to be harder now.
The value.
That's true.
That Stout Shield has served its purpose.
Now it is sold.
He is just sitting behind Ori over here. He's got the blink up, the 20 charge stick. He's ready to just go in and tank anything that might happen.
He's just a combo breaker. He knows that if they're going to go on somebody, it's Ori because he's the one aggressively split pushing. And so if they go on him with Disruptor, they're not going to kill him as long as he gets the Ravage off. Enigma, BKB, quite an important timing. Still the recipe off. Once he gets that, the only way to cancel is, I guess they have Bane and the Doom, but not necessarily reliable with heroes like Bane when you have Night Stalker, who in these fights is going to look to run through the back lines just to disrupt the interruptions of the Black Hole. Just saying, I'm going to have my Enigma go on the front, whoever's presenting themselves like the Ember Spirit, and then I'm going to prevent them from getting saved by running in the back as the Night Stalker. The Vision going to play a huge advantage there.
Very disciplined play here from VGJ.Storm as well. The top lane pushing with everybody from Vici Gaming, and they are going to spread out and pressure both bottom and mid lane.
Looks like VG is going to smoke. They're running down towards the mid lane, right over to their Jug. Are they going to Roche?
No, I think that they're going to fight. They've just got Blink Dagger on the Ember as well as the Tidehunter.
And there's a counter smoke on the side of VGJ.Storm. Looks like they're going to come up to each other. Fenrir.
All right,
auto attack
there. Silence is going to be at the very opening of this one as well, but they found the Doom onto the Medusa. I don't know if that's going to be good enough, though. The counterplay coming in a second with the Black Hole is there. It's on to 3, and they're all going to fall. Double kill for Rezo, and guess what? If you Doom the Medusa, she just right-clicks you.
What an amazing
They
Black
almost
Hole
got
by
Rezo there.
Snake.
Almost took him down. He's about 75%.
He saw the opportunity, took it, and now they just walk right into Roche.
Why not?
That was an Arcane Rune Black Hole, so he has it again in 80 seconds. And at this point, like, not only are they dealing with this Medusa, but the only way you kill Medusa is by doing exactly what they did, and they have an Enigma.
Well, Medusa just finished Scotty here, so now she's going to have this empty item slot to pick up this Aegis. She's got Pike up.
Level 20 coming very soon.
Absolutely unstoppable. The
You know,
700 mana talent
I
is
hear
just
Rezo
absurd.
is pretty good at Dota.
Rezo? No, man, come on. I love Rezo, but you know
He used the promo code. That's the only explanation.
yeah, that makes sense. Nah, Rezo, good guy, good Dota player. I'm a fan, but not biased. Let's go back over.
But
So
not
paparazzi,
biased.
paparazzi on the other side. What a fantastic individual. Let's go see. Look at the cosmetics. Absolutely insane. Only a cool guy would have those.
Yeah, I can really
He does-
identify with paparazzi, that casual feed to the Ancients.
Yeah.
It's a special for sure.
He does almost, I say almost as if it's close, about 1,500 gold away from this Manta.
He's
So
working on it.
He's
That's the
working.
lingo.
He is farming away.
He's working on it.
He's,
I mean, this looks rough for Vici. This is a game where if Medusa's at this stage, it's only okay for them if Medusa looks like this if the Enigma's not looking like he is. The Gyrocopter is just going to be a Gyrocopter in this game. Like, he's going Ags. He's actually going to recover quite well because Medusa with the Aegis can present herself on the aggressive parts of the map. Look at where Rezo's farming. He's actually just farming the top half of the map, even force-stabbing himself up to the opponent's Ancients,
He doesn't care.
which allows Gyro to do exactly what he's doing.
meanwhile, we have Enigma going for the Lincolns. He knows, like you were saying, there's Bane and there's Doom if he's got a net creep, which he doesn't even have right now to cancel this Black Hole. And he he's just going to have a response for it right off the bat. He's got BKB up. If he gets this Linkage, he's pretty much untouchable.
So I think the other thing that we need to make sure if you're Vici Gaming does not happen is you don't get 3-man Black Hold. That it's not going to do well for them.
It doesn't work?
Not really. They are doing a good job now. Top lane, getting the split push out from Ori. He had that queued up Maelstrom earlier, but like we said, going the Veil build and rather the Blink first.
He knows he needs this BKB to do anything in the game. I think he wanted to go this greedy magic damage, try to pump out the damage, pick off some supports, but he can't afford to do that. There's a Blink. Sorry, what's that called?
There it is.
Blink.
Resolution. Going to be found here for a second, though, and as he's rooted, this is just the Aegis, but if they're able to wait out the Stone Gaze, possibly they can reinitiate. The only problem is that the rest of VGJ.Storm is going to be here as well, and they're going to have the better vision.
11 taking nearly no damage from those auto attacks with his Scorched Earth up and the Crimson Guard
And the
unactivated.
Enfeeble on the Medusa. That is something we mentioned in the draft and that will come into play later, is that the problem is if I wouldn't be surprised if Rezo goes like 6-item Rapier, because the Enfeeble is going to be a serious issue for him just getting ignored in these fights, and that's the only problem Medusa can possibly have in a game like this, is just getting ignored while the rest of his team dies, and then killing him as 5 after the rest of his team is dead.
The Bane level's like, he is almost at the, oh no, that's level 20. Yeah, he's a long ways away from it.
120 damage is still a lot
Top
for a hero
lane
like
here,
Dusa.
Ori able to get away as MSS is going to be chased. Paparazzi, the rest of the team was there, but they're not quite in range.
They were unable to capitalize on that. We had Ori go in there. He was silenced for a bit by the Night Stalker. Gyro dropped the rocket on him, but he just slight dodged it and was able to walk away. Doom then came in, and there's nothing they can do. Just had to disengage.
I just love the farm Rezo's taking, and it allows Gyrocopter to play the way he's playing. And this is something that a lot of carry players or just people trying to get better at Dota can pay attention to, is that if you're the strong hero on the map, make sure you're playing like it. And Rezo is really showing like, this is opening up the map so much for his team, and even though you're a Medusa, you're not killing anybody. You're just making it so that they can't kill the rest of your team by playing this way.
Just putting yourself right in their face, right where they would want to farm
And
themselves.
look at the Gyro. He's recovering
Can't do it.
quite well. He's
There's
already
a
catching up to the Enigma.
smoke on VGJ. They're running straight through the jungle. They had some vision up on Jug. They know he's lurking in the area. There's the line drawn out. They're hunting. I think they would just blink Black Hole for this guy. Without any questions. They might not even need it.
Paparazzi's going to think about it.
There it
He
is. Smoke
spots him up
popped.
there as well. And
There it
guess
is.
what? We got you, buddy. There's the Black Hole. 4 seconds, and afterwards 2 seconds stun to follow it up. Easy peasy.
Done for. And that was the highest net worth hero on the opposing team. Sadly, it's only 328 gold, but that's a good kill. That's a really good kill.
The gold comes from like how much Resolution's going to get while the Jug's dead.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where you'll see the discrepancy in these type of kills. Even though he doesn't get very much for the kill itself, Rezo is just going to advance his items even more. The Butterfly. In this game, the difference between Jug and Ember compared to the Medusa's is just going to build every item that she wants to build, and then the Jug and Ember are going to have to build to counter her.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not what you want to do on heroes like Jug and Ember. And
You
Medusa,
also
on the other hand, just has a Butterfly.
have seen that the Gyrocopter going for this Aghanim Scepter and next step into the BKB himself. All of VGJ.Storm is pretty farmed right now. It's granted still the Jug and the Ember that are up there fairly high. And if they're somehow able to, you know, take somebody out of the fight at the beginning, things could look a little better. But that looming presence of the Dusa.
So there's the Maelstrom up on the Ember Spirit, by the way. I don't know if we called that out. And one perk, again, you said this Dusa is itemizing how she wants, but the Ember will hit level 20 soon enough. He will have True Strike, and while, you know, that's all right, the Dusa is still just going to hit like a truck. I don't think he's going to
Ember is virtually no single target damage is the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Jug's single target damage is all flat numbers, as we mentioned. So it's for those of you who don't know, it's quite a bad matchup later on in the game against Dusa, because you simply don't. There's no amount of items a Jug can have to deal enough damage to a Dusa.
And again, that's why it was a weird thing in the draft, because I felt like I had only seen Jugs recently where they had some buff, you know. I would Ogre is the first thing, but that, you know, that hasn't come out in forever.
Yeah.
But they would need some sort of team buff, like you know, some sort of LC or something along these lines, which again, it's very rare. That's why I haven't seen a Jug like ever in these past few games. He just seems like he's weak. He can't compare to these other carries that are coming in the meta.
I was
Game
also
after
told
game.
that it's not good when you're trying to farm up the battle fury to die to Ancients.
Yes, that you have a point there.
Yeah.
That's recent information, though.
Yeah, I just learned that from talking at this event.
That's good. I like that. I'm glad that you're learning things too. Everybody learns more in Dota. That's what we want to see.
Exactly.
So 17-11. It's an 8,000 gold lead, just about that 30-minute mark. And with the Aegis having expired, we're now probably going to see a way to learn before Roche ends up coming back again. Other things to sort of watch for in the next couple of minutes is if any of these heroes get caught out while trying to split push. Lana might try and go for some creeps as well off to the side here. They can't afford to lose heroes at this point on Vici Gaming.
No, not at all.
See you
Lana's
later.
going to TP out.
Jim on the Night Stalker.
Back over to the shrine. It looks like Vici Gaming is just going to group up. VGJ is smoked down the mid lane. They pop Darkness, and they will find nothing.
They should just show themselves on the Medusa, I think.
I think that if they just go mid here, although actually they're going to head down to the south. MSS going to break the smoke right at the start. They spot out that Tidehunter.
No Dusa,
and
though.
if they want to, they can just go back towards mid. They realize that all these heroes are here. Rezo is going to keep the lane pushed out. Maybe they try and catch them on their way into the base as 11 is spotted, and they're going to get him glimpsed back in, caught out, still holding on to the Static Storm as well. So with 11 dead, now they can think about going for high ground if they want to, or they can just wait, farm out the rest of the map.
Paparazzi has to make sure he pushes bottom, because if he doesn't force some sort of reaction from VGJ.Storm, they can just walk down the lane. And Enigma's already TPing.
Oh, God,
Is he going to get the blink black hole? There it is. He's going
We've
to drop.
seen this story before. He's going to walk outside of the Blaze Barrier, and yeah, goodbye, buddy.
Here. He has no Manta either, so they can silence him, and he's dead.
TP in from the Medusa. They don't even need it. He's going to cancel. Stay mid where he was just now. They're getting a pick on this Lanham. Oh, he's got Glimmer Cape away.
So good by snaking and the rest of VGJ.
Fenrir looks like he's getting caught out. He's
Ori?
just dead. Ori.
He's here as well. The Fenrir damage starting to mount up. They got the Enfeeble on Rezo, so they can sort of do some extended damage. Like you said, just get away from the Dusa, but with Enfeeble wearing off now a little bit, this is feeling tougher and tougher.
Now Ori with this Maelstrom up, he is able to do a decent amount of harass, just spamming this Sleight of Fist.
Oh, God. They got the silence off, though. The turnaround with the Ravage, I don't know if it's going to be good enough, though. They've already lost one. Doom onto Medusa, and SVG starting to fall down low as well as you are. They got the BKBs pop, but it is far too much damage coming in from this Dusa right click. Everybody's buying back. Everybody's dying. Ori looks like he will escape for now, but with the mid lane falling, VGJ.Storm just dominant in game number 1.
Rezo, absolutely no fear whatsoever. Gets doomed in the face, knows his role, knows if he A-clicks the ground in front of him, he's going to be perfectly fine. And him and Gyro just pumped out the damage. There was nothing that Vici Gaming could do to respond to that. That was very well played.
Turns out if you just pick a hero that doesn't use abilities and they get doomed, they're just the same hero anyway.
That's, yeah, facts.
And now he has the split shots modifiers, so he life steals as well as Scotty slows on all of his extra attacks. Goes for the BKB. No way
Is under attack.
in God's name that he could actually die here, even before the BKB, but now with the BKB, the only source of damage is right clicks from Jug and Ember, which is virtually non-existent at this point, and then the pure damage from Doom, which is also very minimal.
Top shrine has
24,000 net worth on the Dusa. This is a hero that likes to get that.
Absolutely insane. That is 10K above the highest net worth
Wow.
on Vici Gaming.
I think it's just like his movement, you know?
It is. He was farming, like BSJ was saying, he was farming in their face. He knows he was the strong hero. He was going right where this Jug wanted to be, where this Ember wanted to be.
You said you have time to react, apparently.
Yeah.
There it is.
But like that must have been so clean,
Yeah.
because if he does that before the glimpse, then he ends up being pulled back in anyways.
Yeah, that was perfect timing.
scattered.
Looks like VGJ is just going to drop this Courier and Roche along with a Dom creep.
I mean, it's fancy, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough.
I mean, it's like, and you're seeing in the Jug's item build, Jug doesn't want to go MKB in the Rapier.
Not at all. I didn't even see the Rapier queued up yet. That's a last-ditch effort. I mean, I guess if you're VG Gaming, you know, that's what you got to do.
I mean,
you
yeah,
know
I
this
don't
game
disagree.
is out of your favor. You can't really do anything. But if you get a full Omni Slash up on this Dusa with a Rapier in your inventory,
You might take her down to half.
Even if they had the Rapier right now, I don't think that they would win that fight, to be honest with you. But I'm kind of with you, where it's like he has dreams of this item that might be able to help them.
I mean, they have to take the
Yeah,
drastic
exactly.
times call for drastic measures.
For sure.
That's true.
Definitely.
They are smoked up. They know this Roche is spawned. There's an illusion rune out, and Dusa has the illusions. This is just, she can just sit one of them on the high ground at a time, and they can just take Roche. That alone is enough to stop anybody from walking over here.
They've also got Black Hole up again, and Static Storm is available. VGJ.Storm on the rise, crossing their T's, trying to finish off this game number 1. And
It's Paparazzi. Your illusions are no match for mine, says Rezo.
Rezo just gives no cares.
None. Not a single.
They could try to steal this Aegis, though. But Black Hole threat looming with the BKB plus the Lincolns is pretty impossible to counter. They're just going to give it up.
There's Darkness popped.
I don't know how
Vici
they
Gaming
possibly
is just-
killed
they're
Medusa
too
once,
much
let
at a
alone
disadvantage.
twice. They could even give Rezo the cheese.
Is SVG taking it?
Take it, SVG. Double your
Dude.
net worth. Oh, they're going to
Come
put
on,
on the gyro.
No, that's definitely the play. This gyro, now see, I was curious. He went this Ags build, and now he's going into, what, a Satanic here?
Yeah, he's just accelerating his farm, and now, like, look at he's second on the net worth now.
Do you not, I mean, do you not want to buy a Maelstrom? Is that not, is it just too much because of the others? But I feel like that's just an insane amount of damage.
They just have to
the
outlast.
go-to
They just
for
have to
acceleration.
outlast VG, in my
Yeah, that's
opinion.
true.
That like in this kind of game, like when you're ahead,
Mhm.
there's no reason to buy these damage items on a hero like Gyro. You just say,
That's true.
okay, if we don't die, we win. I know it's
Survivability.
yep, and you only buy damage if you absolutely need to. Play on the safe side if you don't actually need to kill anybody. This is a game where they don't need to kill anybody. They need VG's the one that needs to go on them and kill them. And
Yeah.
Medusa's, I mean,
I think the other thing too
Deuce is
about
running
it,
out of item slots.
Yeah.
if you get doomed on the gyro, like, and you're able to survive it towards the very end of it, you just pop Satanic, like, you just mash that Satanic button, and as soon as you come out of it, if you can live, then you'll be able to be back
it's
up.
even
to almost
25%
full
lifesteal on that extra attack as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like he will just take damage from the Doom. He will slightly sustain through it, and then, like you said, pop the Satanic BKB afterwards, even the cheese.
And he's going to pick up the DD.
And he's going
He said,
Daedalus.
Dusa, this
I
is
like
my
it.
fight. I want this. Give me the ball, coach. I'm going in. And he
Yeah.
attacks the shrine.
Medusa's going to get doomed anyway, so they know that just, that's going to get purged when Medusa goes in.
Do you still doom her even though she has the Aegis?
I mean, I don't know who you doom, to be honest with you. You can't get the Enigma. He's never
That's what
going to
I'm
he's never going to present himself. Night Stalker's going to make it so you don't ever have the vision advantage.
He's got the Lincolns as well on Enigma.
That's what I'm
and-
saying.
and
He's just
this-
going to
this
sit in
Doom
trees
has
behind the
nothing to
Medusa. You
cancel it.
can't possibly find him.
Yeah.
And then if they do find him, like, you still have the Disruptor as well as the Night Stalker to
It's got to
counter
be
his shit.
Dusa or Jug, both of which just absolutely do not care.
Yeah, and you can't afford to, like, ignore the Dusa while you're chasing the Enigma down. So not only do you have to doom him, but you also have to bring him down in the doom.
And Rezo's got Aegis. He's just going to stand over here on the low ground, attack
Okay.
away.
Well, they're taking away a lot of his damage with that Enfeeble now from the Bane, and
There's
they're
a
actually-
Lotus Orb. They're going to cleanse that off. Oh, wait,
it
sorry.
doesn't
That's
take off. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the nifty part
It's
about it.
uncleansable. Forgot
Yeah,
about that.
Kyle's mechanics knowledge is rubbing off on you.
Uncleansable.
Now we're starting to take the right clicks through as well. 11 going to look for an opening, but the problem is nothing is changing from this instance. He is going to stay here the entire time, but they've got the Anchor Smash as well as Enfeeble to try and
Creeps
burn
again.
through it, but the slow and steady burn coming through.
There's the full damage. Hit that tower.
They hit Lana.
Yeah, there it
Okay.
is.
Able to get the rocket taken away as well as the building fall. Nightmare.
But then Feeble plus Anchor Smash, Rezo actually hits for 25 damage.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a method of winning.
I mean, it's not winning, though.
Winning being a relative term.
Yeah, I mean, you take what you can get.
Yeah.
Victory, you have to learn to settle. From coming from my life personal experience, you can't. If you can't go for the gold, you go for the bronze.
If you ain't first, you're last. That's what Rezo
No,
said.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
That's
but
what Rezo said, man.
If you want to have that all or nothing, black or white attitude, I'm fine with that, man.
That's
but
it.
that's
That's
not
it,
my.
man.
That's
There
not my way
are-
of being.
There are no in between. It is all absolutes, and I swear I'm not a Sith, but you know,
Okay.
Mm.
You probably also think there's only two genders.
it's the Earth is flat.
Okay.
Anyway, back
Back
to the game.
please. Yes, thank you.
Back to the game. We've got the
I mean, what is it?
Night Stalker
Gyro's-
level 18?
Gyro's going back top lane. This Ember's been split pushing, doing the best he can to have an impact on this game. He's just going out of here. He's got a rocket chasing him, and Gyro is fully aware of the fact that he just remitted back to base.
So they've got Boots Travel on Enigma. They realize, all right, well, we can keep on doing this song and dance forever. Although Enigma is showing in the top lane here. Although now they also see the as Boots of Travel. And as soon as he shows, they back up a little bit, playing safe yet again. The Anchor Smash Enfeeble. That's going to be the new hot stuff.
It's going to be the new techies. It's going to be the new, this game is going to go on way longer than it should, but inevitably have the same result. That's what I feel this is right now. I really don't think it's going to be enough to stop this Dusa. It's just going to, they're just going to be trapped in their base.
She doesn't like
sitting
boots. She's walking around at
You just got
302
I
movement
told you, man,
speed.
the rapier's
They're
going to come out.
all
They don't
right
reduce
here.
rapier damage with the Anchor Smash. So just buy a rapier. Lol.
I wonder if Bane is going to get to level 20 by the time that happens.
Was that, is that a, how much enfeeble? 100 enfeeble.
So it's 220 reduction. Rapier's 330. So he'll gain 110 damage by having a rapier.
But again, this entire enemy team, they're just confined to their base. They're getting nothing. Meanwhile, we have Enigma still clearing the jungle, pushing in top. We have MSS just running around like a madman because he can.
Do they have any GPM talents on Vici? Is there anything like we gotta find the silver lining here? We got the
I mean, we got the bonus
Devour
Devour gold. Yeah, that's it right there.
That's effectively GPM.
That's pretty close, pretty close. If he can actually eat a creep without dying.
I think he actually needs to buy an Ags on Doom because it will disable the split shot on Medusa, which would be a viable way to remove him from the fight.
This Ember really is the sole reason VGJ is not able to just walk up more. I don't know if VGJ, they seem to be very passive right now. I don't know if they're waiting for like another Roche or something. Or maybe they're just waiting on this rapier on Dusa.
I think that they realize that as this game goes on, they keep on getting stronger. Although Medusa doesn't really. Yeah, it's a little questionable, I would say.
Yeah.
They did get the Aghanims on Disruptor, so there are like a couple more very strong timings that they hit.
Yeah, I mean, they're just playing methodically, I think. And at the same time, I honestly think VG's Gaming's only way to win is if this Doom goes in Acceptor. And I really hope he chooses to do that because you can't ignore Dusa at this stage in the game. So you kind of have to Doom her, but Dooming doesn't actually do anything if you don't have an Ags because she just attacks you. And the Ags will make it so that the Doom may last a little bit longer than you would normally because it's based on the proximity of Doom. And it also makes it so she doesn't have split shot, and suddenly she's not nearly as scary. But maybe their plan is just Enfeeble plus Anchor Smash. But I don't think that that's like a reliable way to win a long fight. But he's committing to the Shivas, it looks like. So what do I know?
Well, that's a question.
Don't answer that
We've
question,
been,
please.
You know.
Now that you bring it up, BSJ.
MSS spots out the Doom, they blink away, and he is going to escape it again. Enigma looking to go for a sheep stick, and has it completed. So they got some items. They got a good bit of farm for themselves.
Ori is doing a really, really good job of keeping these lanes pushed, oddly enough. In the position he's in, he's just splitting and splitting and splitting, putting a Mjolnir buff on himself or on the creep wave, and just running away for dear life. Here he is again, going top lane. Or sorry, bottom lane. I saw the scan, thought it was a TP for a second.
Oh, what happens? Oh,
He's
God.
just bottom
she's
lane
got a
again,
little,
getting pinged out, but he's perfectly fine.
she's got an Alpha Wolf creep now also.
Enigma's looking for Ori. He's TPing in with an
There he is. He's
arcane
gonna
rune.
drop. Is he going to drop
He
the
has a
midnight
sheep
pulse?
stick. He has a sheep stick.
If he shows it all, oh, God.
The
vision,
patience.
vision,
The patience.
vision. They jump
Oh!
forward. No.
Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. Sheep, sheep, sheep. Oh!
Ori's going to get
Oh.
away.
Oh.
Good play by Ori. That was beautiful.
Well done.
Honestly,
so
that
good.
was sick play on both sides.
I think Snaking, I don't know, I feel like he had it. He pinged directly on his face. Maybe he thought that he was farther to the right because he missed it by a slight amount, but I feel like if he had dropped that Midnight Pulse right where he pinged, he probably would have been able to follow the blink of the Ember or just hex him right off the bat. But I mean, oh well, it was a great play, both sides.
I did say that, yes.
Oh, here we go. Ori, nope, running away. And they are not going to catch him there. Lanham has a rocket on him as well. Resolution, right clicks. Oh my God, the damage coming in from that one. Well, Daedalus is there for Gyrocopter.
And is that Bane level 20 up yet? No. That's going to be a pretty big deal, actually.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Boots travel level 2 for Dusa. She's got $1.5 billion gold. Still rapier queued up. I don't know if she necessarily needs to invest into that though. Like, I think you're still okay just walking up and slowly beating away at it once this Roche comes back up again in a minute. Ori? They spot him.
There he is.
And just like that, quick and easy, they take it down.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oh,
And
and
that's
that's also a DD top lane.
And he's dead for 100 seconds, and he's going to have to buy back. And if that happens one more time, that's pretty much going to spell doom for the side of VG Gaming, and not the way they want.
Oh my god. Hex again now as they found themselves another pick off here onto Juggernaut possibly, although Glimmer caped away. He's living for the moment, able to go for the spin out and land him. Going to die godlike on the Dusa, and the Doom dropped. What the hell? Was somebody doing?
Onto
He
Gyro.
doomed him onto the gyro, but the gyro was just running in. Of course, just as we said, he's got the Ags auto attacks and his own, just healing him back.
Oh, and Jug, he actually can't TP back. He got his TP broken by the glimpse. He has the rapier done, but he can't get back to his base, and they're killing off the rest of his teammates. Two of them have buyback, though. If they want to buy back on the Doom as well as the Tide Hunter, with Doom already
Ember
used.
did buy
They
out.
chase
He
him
dies
down
here.
one.
That's GG. They just have to call it. We have a rapier Jug coming in. He's probably
The
going to want to
Omni
cast
Slash
his ulti
to
at
end
least.
all Omni Slashes.
This is it. This is the one.
the
Ravage coming out.
He's
The
going right
Omni's
in.
down. It's a good bit of damage with the Centaur
Jug.
stomp afterwards.
Wow, he
Snake
actually killed the
King's
gyro.
starting to fall down low, but as you said, it is a ton of damage out. Resolution's
There
there.
it
And
is.
good game well played.
They
call.
gave him the Omni Slash at least. It was, you know, a bit of fun there.
Dyer's
That game was, I don't know, certainly interesting. You ever lost a game with a rapier in your inventory?
That's very rare, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just... Honestly, I don't think Jug can have 6 rapiers and deal enough damage to do so. Whatever the max damage you could output as a Jug, not obviously not 6 rapiers, I don't think it's enough to deal with
Whoa.
Medusa at this farm.
Well, that's
Somebody
one hell of a
is-
shot right
This
there.
is a family-friendly stream. Please,
Would
production.
anybody else like some
Keep
cake?
it.
Are we
keep it
dessert
PG.
friendly here? No? Okay.
I was eating.
Were you? Is that
No,
what's
but-
going on?
No.
It is, it's just immediate.
No.
Oh.
I mean, that was a good game. I think VGJ.Storm is, I mean, these early to mid-game plays, like that one smoke to top the counter smoke, these type of plays are game-winning plays. It's that simple. Like, obviously there are a few slip-ups from VG Gaming, but at the same time, this game was going to snowball one way or the other. The Medusa was either going to have space or not, and based on those early plays, I love the way Snake King itemized and played. I think Yawar did a great job recovering. The Ag Scepter, knowing he was going to have space to farm, he didn't rush like a BKB or anything like that. That's much more of an NA way to play. And what can we say? Best country in the continent.
Best country EU and NA? No, I don't.
Yeah, best country in North America.
But but I mean, I will say that the whole mid lane getting a big shift into Rezo's favor after that dive mid. Ori got a little greedy, ended up feeding his life. That was a big deal. And then he didn't even need any help mid. Rezo was just perfectly fine mid from then on. And then we have the Snaking just being able to do whatever he wanted after he got that Soul Ring HOD,
Yeah.
like you were saying. He just sat there. He never died. It was just, again, snowballing in one team's favor.
Totally, and I think that's about all we got to say about them because we've been saying it for the past like 20
Yeah.
minutes. This is
It's just,
a
we
Medusa
just watched
game
that
where
game.
Medusa got to farm.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see if in the next one Vici are able to pull together something a little bit more what they want, what's up their alley, and if possibly there's going to be a Rezo Dusa ban. But there's a lot of other heroes he plays. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think you can really ban out Resolution. Not exactly what we consider
No.
a limited player.
That's true enough. All right, well, ladies and gents, we'll be right back after this break. More from the MDL Changsha Major. We'll see you guys then.